Hey everyone, welcome into the Ben Maynard program. Thanks for being here. It is Friday night and we are live. Yeah, let's take care of some housekeeping right out of the gate. How's that? As you know, this program is available on multiple podcast platforms like Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, and Spotify, among many others. Just search the Ben Maynard program and choose your option. You'll have several to choose from. I like to steer everyone towards Buzzsprout because that's where my website is. And of course, all the episodes are there. Next, if you can't resist this pretty face right here, and I know many of you can't, and that's why you come to YouTube and watch this show. If that's the case, then please subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, give me a thumbs up, and leave a comment. All right? I love comments. You know I do. And last but not least, follow me on Instagram, all one word, Ben Maynard Program. So plenty of ways to take in this show for your dancing and listening pleasure. And with that, again, it's Friday night and we're live. So let's have some fun tonight, all right? How's that? Get things started off with a bang, right? We're going to do the usual stuff. This is the first Friday night live in a month. I think it is. Wow. I know last month in April, that was the last Friday night live that we did. And I believe that was right before I had gone to Portland for a couple of weeks. And now I've been back for almost 2 weeks. And we did a show last Saturday. We recorded that one in the morning. That was my return to the chair. And so this is our first Friday night live in a few weeks now. So good stuff. So we're gonna do the usual stuff. We've got the Malort challenge, and for all the newbies out there, what that means is call into the show, and let's do this first. Let's do this. Let's see. Yes, call into the program, and if you call in, I have to take a shot of this wonderful stuff right here, Malort. Yes, the worst tasting liqueur ever. All right. It truly is. It's nasty stuff. Got my shot glass right over here, my Mr. Spock shot glass. And yeah, here it is. And look, if you could really see, you could tell hasn't been washed. Hasn't been washed. It's been sitting here. All this, that shot glass has been sitting here since the last Friday night live. And since I started using my Mr. Spock shot glass, it hasn't been washed one time, not at all. So, gosh, we've been doing Friday Night Live for about 3 months, I think. And that's been here pretty much ever since without getting no washing at all. Just sits here in between shows, collects dust, whatever else it may collect in there. And that's all part of the Malort challenge. You call in, I got to take a shot of that. And then I also put in one of those nasty Bean Boozled beans. Yes. Most of the time they are nasty, and it's very rare that I get a decent one. Then, of course, we've got Stump the Chump. Here's your chump right here. And what that is you call in with your music trivia. If you stump me, I have to take a drink. Of course, this is not supposed to be a drunk show, but these are punishments that I am willing to endure for you, just for you out there, because I love you so much. You're so special. Yeah. And I just want to try to get some more engagement on this program. So we're just having some fun here. It's great to be back. We've done two shows now prior to tonight. We did the last Saturday, my return, and that one was fun. Early in the morning, after getting home from work, I think it was like 5:30 in the morning. I got home from work, and I jumped in the shower and tried to get looking as best as I could, which is a tall task, and came in here and banged out a show. And it was a lot of fun. I was extremely tired. My eyes were bloodshot. I'm glad that you couldn't see, but it was fun. I liked it, and it felt good to be back because while I was gone, um, I wasn't able to do a show. And I won't get into all the particulars, but I had some internet issues and that type of thing because I did take the laptop and I wanted to do a Friday Night Live from Portland. Take this show on the road. Why not? But it wasn't going to work. So yeah, and then today, if you haven't seen the post, the Facebook post, I don't think we put it on Instagram yet. How stupid are we, right? But we'll get it on Instagram as well. I recorded a show earlier this afternoon with a young man named Kobe Reese. Great kid, really just such a good kid, and we had some fun. He's a multi-instrumentalist. He's a singer-songwriter, and he is the front man in his own band called the Kobe Reese Band. And it was just a lot of fun. I had met him a while back when Catherine and I went to the David Z Foundation benefit show. And so I met him and his parents. And it was he was just such a great kid, and it was a ton of fun doing the show with him this afternoon. He was engaging in I don't know how many interviews that he's done in the past, but he was pretty good, and it's not like I'm a big celebrity, so there's really no reason to get nervous talking to me. but it was a lot of fun. So if you haven't seen that one, check it out. It just posted this afternoon, so you probably haven't had much of an opportunity to see it. So let me fill you in on this as well. This is interesting. Okay, I got a new camera for the studio, and I've got it mounted on the back wall of the studio. It's really a nice camera. I'm pretty pleased with it so far. But I'm used to having my camera mounted right on top of my laptop. So I can look directly at the monitor on the laptop and look into the camera at the same time. Well, that's not the case here. Just so that you know, I'm looking at the camera right now, so it kind of does look like I'm looking at you, but I can't see what's going on. Camera's right here, laptop's over here. So it's tough getting used to it, but I'm going to do the best I can. I hung a couple of camera mounts here in the studio to try some new things coming up. Maybe record the show from a couple of different angles, and we'll see how that goes. Let me see. Yes, I did put the phone number there, so you can call into the program. And I'm still waiting for some of your comments. So make sure you get on the horn and either call in or pound away at your keyboard and get some comments going. All right. And what else has been going on? I know what I wanted to talk about. Last Saturday when we did the show, I went over a few things in the music world, certainly in my world, in our world, the stuff that we like, and talked about some music documentaries and talked about some music releases and anniversaries and that type of thing. And the one thing I forgot to mention was Steve Perry, greatest singer ever in the history of ever, is on a new song. Well, kind of a new song. Steve Perry is, and it's hard to say he's featured, and I'll explain in a moment, but there's a band called The Effect. You may have heard of this. You may have heard this news already. The song dropped last week. As I said, the band is called The Effect. The two members of any notoriety, I'll say, are Trev Lukather, who is the son of Steve Lukather from Toto, And I think it's Nick Collins, who's the son of Phil Collins, of course, from Genesis and his major solo career. So they're the two names that anybody might recognize in the band. Well, for those of you who know, or even those of you who don't know, there's a song, a Journey song on the album Raised on Radio. It's called Could Have Been You. And apparently Trev Lukather is a huge Journey fan, and apparently him and Steve Perry are, they know each other quite well. And Trev had approached Steve Perry about his band recording the song, and Steve Perry kind of gave his blessing. Then they approached Steve Perry and asked him if he would sing on it. So he agreed to it. He was really kind of touched. And what a strange song to pick, because it's a deep track on the album, and it's one that I absolutely love. I love that song, and it's so funny. I thought about this when this was coming around. I love the song so much. Every time I listen to Raised on Radio, and that is an album I go back to a lot, after that song plays, I immediately hit repeat and listen to it again. It's that good. And there's something about it. I can't describe it, but there's something about that song that is so great. Yet, this is what's so weird. Yet, it was not in my Journey top 20 songs. That's kind of strange, right? As much as I love that song, it's just not in my Journey top 20. Maybe I should revise my list. Anyhow, so Steve Perry sings on this song, and the song dropped last week. I've listened to it a couple of times, and The Effect have done a good job with the song. They've kind of punched it up a little bit, made it, I guess, given it more of a, I don't know if a more current sound, but certainly a little more rocked up than the original version. The lead singer, and I don't even know his name because I don't know the other two members in the band. He has a good voice. Does a really, really good job with it. But I'm listening for Steve Perry, and I don't hear him at all. I'm thinking, where's Steve? And if you really, really, I mean, you got to really turn the volume up, and you really have to listen very, very closely. And you might hear a whisper of Steve Perry in there. It's really difficult. And because of the lead singer's voice, sometimes you don't know if you're hearing him or Steve. So it's I don't know where I sit on it. Like I said, good song, good cover of the song, but I want to hear Steve Perry, But apparently now I heard that the band had asked him to either like sing the song, sing a verse, or sing the chorus, something, but sing a portion of the song where he could his vocals could really be featured. And I guess he had said something to the effect, "Hey, look, this is your song. This is not mine. This is your band, and it's not mine. So you guys do your thing." And then he just recorded his vocals, and it's kind of sounds as though he's buried in the mix. But I'm sure it's getting a lot of traction just for the mere fact that it features Steve Perry, So good on The Effect, and good on Steve Perry. And in Steve Perry news, since we're talking about the great one, apparently he has signed with a record company. Oh no, does that mean he's going to put out another album? Well, why else would you sign with the record company unless you intended on putting out new music? So we'll see how that goes. But I know there's rumblings that he is he's missed touring, and he's kind of getting that itch back to tour. and do a solo tour. So for all of us big Steve Perry honks out there who have just been waiting and waiting and waiting for something from Steve Perry, maybe there's a little something coming up in the future. I wouldn't count on it anytime soon, certainly not this year. If anything happens, I would imagine it wouldn't happen uh, before next year, 2025. But we'll see. Miracles happen, right? And yeah, we'll see how that goes. Um, so I guess since we are, or I am anyway, you're just listening. Since we're talking music here, we know that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the inductees were announced. I don't know, a couple 3 weeks ago. I think I was in Portland at the time they did get announced. So we all know that Foreigner got in, which long overdue. And I don't even remember all of the acts that got in. I remember Foreigner got in, a Cher got in. Um, oof, there was 7 of them, if you remember. And I don't remember off the top of my head, and I haven't paid a ton of attention to it. Um, but it started making me think about, and of course, if you love your music, and you worry about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and your favorite bands, and are they in, are they not, are they going to get in, are they not going to get in, are they even going to get a sniff of it on a ballot at some point. I don't know, but there's a ton of bands out there that have been snubbed for a long time. And of course, Foreigner was one of them for many, many years, ever since they had become eligible based on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's criteria. They had never even been on a ballot. And so I started thinking about it, like, I don't know, 10 minutes before I came in the studio here. And I thought, what are some of the other Rock and Roll Hall of Fame snubs? And I didn't write any down, so I'm going to just kind of, as they come to mind, just mention them. And if you're watching, throw some in the comments if you want. Or, better than that, if you want to see me punish myself and take a drink of that nasty Malort right there, then call in with your rock and roll snubs, 1, 2, however many you think you have. And yeah, we'll go from there. But yeah, I was thinking about it. I think because I was brushing my teeth before I came back into the studio, I was getting my dinner out of my teeth. Sorry, and I started thinking, and I started singing this song, "Ready for Love" by Bad Company. Yeah, ready for love. Oh, baby, I'm ready for love. And I thought, Bad Company, yeah, never even had a sniff, never even been on a ballot. All the great music that they produced, that they recorded and released, the great Paul Rogers, the what I think he's kind of dubbed the singer's singer. You know, as fabulous as he is, as fabulous as that band was. And I say was because they don't really do much. They haven't officially broke up or anything like that, but I don't know if we'll ever hear from Paul Rogers again. He's had some health issues over the past few years, and so it's really, really up in the air as to whether we'll see him again on stage. Nonetheless, Bad Company, big time rock and roll snub. Huge band, great band, should already be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and they're not. And then, in that same genre, that classic rock, or I don't know what you want to call it. It gets called so many things: arena rock, um, corporate rock. I don't even know what that means. Just dumb stuff. But hey, it's classic rock for us. It's just good. It's just good time rock and roll. Um, Styx, I mean, come on, Styx has been around since the early 70s. Um, before, and of course, they really hit it big with, I'm trying to remember now. Trying to remember Tommy Shaw's first album with the band, and I'm drawing a blank. It wasn't The Grand Illusion. It was the album right before that. But before Tommy Shaw was in Styx, I believe they had released 2 or 3 albums, similar to like the Journey story. Um, they were on a label called Wooden Nickel, and they had 2 or 3 releases prior to that. Really, nothing to speak about. And then Tommy Shaw joined the band, and they started to gain more traction and took off. And but come on, Styx. They've been around forever. Look how many great songs are in their catalog. Whether it's Dennis DeYoung or Tommy Shaw or even JY doing the singing. And JY only takes a song or two, but it's primarily Dennis DeYoung and Tommy Shaw that have covered all that material over the years. Great stuff. This band has never even been on a ballot. How puzzling is that? That's just amazing to think about the many years that they've been snubbed. And the criteria is to be eligible, it has to be, I think it's 25 years beyond your first release. So they would probably count once Tommy Shaw was in the band, because that was like a major release for them. So I think that was like 75, 76. So, I mean, so count 25 years from then. That's what, 2000? So they've been eligible for 23, 24, 25 years right in that area and never been on a ballot. That's just nuts when you think about it. That's just, I don't know. That's somebody not, people on the nominating committee not recognizing the greatness of that band. Come on, somebody leave me a comment. Don't make me give you all the snubs here. Who else? REO Speedwagon, another band. Been around since the early 70s, probably been eligible since around 2000, right in that area, and never, ever been on a ballot. Never been considered. How ridiculous is that? They had some great albums prior to High Infidelity, and they were really, it's like with each album, they were ramping up more and more and more, gaining more steam, more popularity, and then bam, what happens with, they release High Infidelity, and that was it. It was all over but the shock. And what a great album. Great album, great songs, a diamond album, and it hit diamond status, gosh, 10 years ago at least. So who knows where that is now. And they have great albums after that as well. Now they don't really do any recording anymore. They haven't put out any new music. Oof. Boy, I couldn't even tell you. It's been quite a while. But great band, out every year on tour, filling sheds, and it's always a good show with REO Speedwagon, and yet always snubbed, and have been snubbed since they've become eligible for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Let's see. Come on, somebody out there, let me know. How about Boston? Yeah, Boston. What was it? 1976, I think it was, when Boston released their debut album. An absolute masterpiece. Every song on that album was played on the radio. Every song. And the debut album was like a greatest hits album unto itself. And I think it's the biggest selling debut album of all time by any band. I think it at one point I had heard something like I've got my iPad right here, should look it up, but I'm not going to. But I think it was around 16 million copies at one point. 16 million. Are you kidding? They followed it up with Don't Look Back, which was a great album. But when you're coming off of that debut and it is multi times platinum right out of the gate, it's hard to follow up with something that's going to be equally as incredible in the number of sales. But I still think that Don't Look Back has sold like 5 or 6 million or something like that. Just a bizarre number. It might even be more. But when you're looking at it in comparison, one might say that's a bit of a disappointment, but really not so much. But a great band. And yes, Brad Delp, the lead singer, has passed away many years ago. I want to say it was around '07, something like that. Um, but yeah, great stuff. Even their third stage album had some big songs on it. So band like Boston that was very innovative, created a different sound, and it's a sound that the band it's their signature sound. Um, yeah, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame snub. Never even been on a ballot. Never. Not even once. Let's see. Somebody else. You're not helping me out here, folks. I'm not getting any comments from you. How about Kansas? Yeah, Kansas is probably one that doesn't get a lot of. It doesn't come to you real quick, but we all know Kansas has been around for 50 years. Great songs, great band. Um, Again, just like the previous bands I've mentioned, longevity, great material, lots of album sales, and they kind of touch on the not just the hard rock, but a little bit progressive at times as well. Never ever been on a ballot. How does that happen? I don't know. How does that happen? It's just bananas to me. So, whatever. It's just the way it is, and it is what it is. But I'll get off of that right now, and I'm going to let you people think about it for a little bit. And you can either call in. You see the phone number scrolling across the screen, so call into the show, and or you can leave it in the comments. So how's that? I talked about earlier getting dinner out of my teeth. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a big comfort food lover. I'm a big fan of comfort food. And, give me some just meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and corn. Yeah, and that's it. I am set. Um, but there's something that Catherine and I do in the crock pot as well. we get we get some cream of chicken soup. We put it in the crock pot. Then we get a bag of frozen peas and carrots. Put that in there, and we'll get chicken breast and throw that in there, and just let it go. 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. We let it go, and usually about the last couple hours, we'll get some potatoes, not frozen. Well, no, I take that back. We have put frozen potatoes in there, frozen like red skin potatoes, ones that are all cut up, and we'll throw a bag of those in there as well. And man, oh man, just the greatest stuff. It is so good. Like I said, comfort food. And now remember, I'm old, just like all of you out there. Well, probably most of you. I know we got some young ones out there. Hello to the young ones. And if you remember chicken a la king, I remember my mom would buy this from my dad. It came frozen and it was in a plastic pouch, and you would boil it. You put it in boiling water, and then when it's ready, you take it out. And I think she would actually put it over sliced bread for my dad. But here, Catherine and I, we get some biscuits. We throw some biscuits in the oven, and we get those going. And so we take our, if you want to call it our version of chicken a la king, I don't know. I just know it's delicious. And we get those biscuits and throw them on a plate and pour that stuff over the biscuits and go. And it is go time then. It's so delicious. And comfort food. That's exactly what it is. And so it's stuff like that. Chili. I love making chili in the crock pot. Comfort food. I mean, just makes me feel so good. And I'll eat chili anytime. Anytime. Not just, to me, it's not just like a winter thing. It's an anytime thing. Stuff like that. It's great. Great. Sorry, come on, my watch. I keep banging my watch on the table here. So I'm trying my best with the new camera, and I think I'm doing okay. I have to peek over at the monitor every once in a while, but I think I'm doing okay. You'll let me know, right? You'll let me know if I'm screwing up, if I'm looking stupid, or, well, you don't have to tell me I look stupid. I already know. So I'm just waiting for some phone calls. Look, I'm not looking forward to drinking anything, so I might be feeling real good once this show is over. Especially if I don't have to take a drink. That'll make me feel even better. I love that. So I'm coming off of, let's see, coming off 2 weeks in Portland, coming off of last week working nights, and then this week I worked nights as well. I had today off. Good for me. So I only worked Monday through Thursday of this week, but I worked nights. And I was getting home. I was starting at like 9:30 at night, and I was getting home at I don't know, anywhere between 10 and 12 noon. So long nights and or mornings, however you want to look at it, because anytime past midnight, it's morning, right? It's no longer night; it's now morning. So some long nights, long mornings, and I'm trying to just recover from that. I'm trying to recoup. I go back to work on Sunday night. Yeah, I already know. I don't even have to wait for the text message in church. I already know I'm working Sunday night. I'll be working nights again next week. And then, baby, I'm off for a week. I can't wait. I'll be off. I've got a vacation week, and I am so looking forward to that. I need it big time. Yeah, I mean, shoot, what? At that point, I'll be back to work almost 6 months, and it's time for a week off. Yeah, I think so. What do you think? Heck, some people take vacation all the time, but yeah. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm trying to line up uh, some guests to come on the program that week, because it's wide open. So I don't have any scheduling conflicts due to work or anything like that. So just working on some things. I'm not going to say anything. Um, I don't want to jinx it. And if it happens, awesome. You'll know about it, because I'm going to let you know about it. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, another band that came to mind, a rock and roll snub, and never been on a ballot, and they'll never even get in. Forget it. Forget about it. And that is one of my favorites, one of my all-time favorite bands, Uriah Heep. And you were like, oh my gosh, dude, why are you talking about this band again? We never even heard of them. We don't even know who they are. Well, check their stuff out. Band has been around. Their first release was 1969, I believe it was. That was their debut album. Great stuff. They came out. There's like 4 bands really that fit into the same category, though Uriah Heep really never gets mentioned unless you're across the pond in the UK. Then they kind of get mentioned along with these other bands at being the creators, I guess, of one progressive music, touching on heavy metal, very hard rock, and those bands would be Deep Purple, Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin, and Uriah Heep. And they're every bit as good as those 3 bands that I mentioned beforehand. But they will never, ever get a sniff of the Hall of Fame. Never, ever, ever. Just simply because they don't have that notoriety here in the United States that they do elsewhere around the world. And, they had one hit single here in the United States, and it wasn't like it was really a big song either. It was fairly big on rock radio, but not on like Billboard Top 40. You weren't going to hear it like on pop radio or anything like that. And so they're just never going to get a shot at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but they are certainly deserving in my book because they're that good. And they still write, record, and release new material. They still do it. They had an album out last year in 2023. Great album. So anyway, that one just kind of came to mind. And I see that we still have some viewers out there. So yes, thanks for watching. Appreciate that. And we bounce up and down a little bit as to the number that we have. So some people stick around and some people don't. That's okay. That's the way it is. We all on Friday Night Live, we generally go like an hour. Okay, I try not to go longer than an hour because it is Friday night. Everybody wants to maybe do something on a Friday night. But this is like date night here, right? I mean, come on, what I think there's no better way to spend a Friday night than right here with me on the Ben Maynard program. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. And if I'm here, then you should be here too, right? Just saying. Just saying. And yeah, still hanging out, waiting for your comments. But that's all right. If we don't get, I'll say this. You see me squinting. I'm looking at the microphone this way. Yeah. I'm looking and I'm looking. Okay. I'm just looking at the timer on my monitor. That's the drag with bringing in the new camera and trying to, trying to make more space in the studio. You guys haven't seen really the inside of the studio. You see this here. You've seen my bookshelf a little bit, with my books and everything, but you really don't see much more than that. But right in front of the table, I mean, you actually do see the table, and tonight with the new camera, the angle that I have it set at, you're not really seeing what's on the table so much. Yeah, because the camera was set so much lower in the past, you saw everything on the table. So you saw what a mess it all was. Notepads out here, keyboard here, Malort, shot glasses, Bean Boozled, whatever else I would have out on the table. And so now with the new camera, where I have it mounted, I've pushed back and I've put the laptop back where it belongs, which is on the desk on the far wall of the studio. So instead of the camera really being literally 3 feet from me. Now it's about 8 feet from me. And that means the laptop is about 8 feet from me. And you all know that I can't really see anyway without my readers on. So, and my readers aren't going to do me any good trying to read what's across the room. Um, it just doesn't work that way. So, yeah. So I'll lean in and squint and try to see what what the timer says, how long we've been on the air. I think I expose myself and give you way too much. I do. I think I just do. I give you way too much information, and let you behind the scenes too much. But that's just me. I'm a very transparent person. I don't hide anything, and so there you go. I don't care. I don't mind. I tell you the ups and the downs of this show, and I tell you my ups and downs, and then we just let it go. I'm just look. I'm like anybody else. All right, I put my pants one leg at a, put them on one leg at a time. I don't just jump into them like some of you. I know some of you are very acrobatic, and I know you can do it. Let me take a sip of water, please. I'm experiencing a little dry throat. All right. Um. Oh. I did notice something, and I think it just had been sneaking past me. But I happened to notice today. I was looking at the YouTube channel, and it's not a big deal. I know it's not going to be a big deal to most of you out there, but it's a big deal to me. I actually have a whole 81 subscribers. Yes. How about that? I think some people snuck on as subscribers while I was away in Portland and working nights and all that because I haven't been able to check anything. So, and when if I wasn't recording the show, then I didn't get on. I would get on YouTube and see if any of the other episodes were gaining more views and that kind of thing. But I wasn't paying attention to subscribers, so I was like, 81. Wow, I think last time I checked, I had like 60 something, 67 or 68. So I'm like, all right, I got a few extra subscribers. Great job, me. Um, it would be nice if I could get to 100 in the next 30 days. So, as I always say, tell a friend. Yeah. And do you know why I say tell a friend? It's because word of mouth is the greatest form of advertisement. Because when you tell one person, they're more apt to tell one person, so on and so on. So if you tell two people, then they're going to tell two people, and so on and so on. Okay. That's all. So just tell your friends, tell your family, tell your neighbors, tell people you don't know. Where is it? I made these right here, these coasters with the show logo, and I made them, and well, I didn't make them, of course. I had them made, and I barely passed out any. I am going to take a dozen with me tomorrow. I'm going somewhere tomorrow where I'm hoping I can pass some out and get some eyes on this podcast. And yeah, I wish that I could get some out to you somehow. So look, people, drop me drop me an email. My email address is I believe it's in the description somewhere. I don't know. I think the email address is on Buzzsprout. So look, if you're listening on Buzzsprout, just scroll down the show description, and I'm pretty sure the email address is right there. You can either send me a message. I know that there's a function on Buzzsprout that allows you to click and send me a direct message, whether it's, hey, dude, great job, or you know what, you're really terrible, or whatever. But my email address is on there, or if you want to, in the comments, be it while we're on here live, or if you watch this afterwards, and you want a coaster, I'll send it to you. I'll shove it in an envelope. Just give me your name and address and all that good stuff. I'll send it to you. Why not? I have to get some more made anyway. So yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna stick with the same design or if I'm gonna try something else. I might try something else. I'm not sure. Just to kind of mix it up a little bit. I think I showed you guys a while back when I had the window stickers made, and it's just this logo right here is without the name, without the show name on there. It's just this logo all by itself, and it's in black. It's on a clear background. So if you put it on like your window, your car window or something like that, it'll show up. I think I want to do that one in white. I want to redo that and just like this in white. I think that would stick out better, stand out more, I should say. So yeah, I get some more of those made. But yeah, if you want a coaster or a couple coasters, just drop me a line. All right. How's that? Drop me a line and you can have some show swag. All right. It's on me. Yeah. Cause I'm so big time, I don't know if I mentioned before, I want to get t-shirts made. I want to find the right t-shirt. That's the problem. I know that you've seen in past episodes, I have a couple of t-shirts, one with the white logo, one with the black logo. And they're pretty good t-shirts. They're not bad. So I'm not sure. One is a cotton t-shirt, and the other one is a dry fit t-shirt. So I don't know which way I want to go with those because I like them both. But the logo on those shirts is a heat transfer, and I think I'd rather have it screen printed. So we'll see. We'll see about that. I guess it's no big hurry because I don't have a demand for t-shirts. Nobody is like blowing up the channel with t-shirt requests or anything like that. So yeah. Anyhow, anything else we need to cover? Oh, you know what I'm going to do? Check this out, people. Let's see. Let's see if we can do this. I want to show you I would kind of want to show you what my new camera does here. Okay. Let me do this. Oh, there. See, look at. Yeah, you can kind of see around the studio a little bit. Those are headphone cases. You see, I don't even wear headphones. I think I wore headphones 2-3 times on this show here. So I know sometimes I sound loud. I do camera checks and all that. Oh yeah, down there below, right? Let me go down right there. I can't zoom in anymore because I'm zoomed in all the way. Whoops. Oh, darn it. What'd I do there? Oh, I know what I did. Hang on. There we go. There we go. Up. I hit the wrong button. Up, 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 and over. Yeah, that Tough Guys picture right there, that painting, that was from my brother-in-law, Vito. He painted that. I asked him to do that. And that's a painting of our jersey from, let me get this back here. There we go. I think that's a little better. Wow, the lighting kind of changed. I think I look a little darker now. Moving the camera around changed the lighting, I think. I'm not sure. But that painting right here, that's of our Tough Guys jersey of the baseball team from, it started in 1987, and it was all guys that I grew up playing with. And the number 3 is our friend Mike Dominguez, who sadly passed away back in 2019. And childhood friend, known him since high school. And so I asked my brother-in-law Vito to paint that for me. He designed the logo anyway, way back then. He designed the logo, and so I asked him to paint that for me and to put Mike's number on there, number 3. And I displayed that at his memorial service. So it means a lot to me because it always reminds me of Mike, who was a great guy. He was a great friend. And so, yeah. So I thought I used to hang it next door in my workout room. But I don't know. It's a little more fitting right here in the studio. Um, so that's where it is now. And yeah, you don't normally see it, but now you did. And there it is. And I'm sorry if you're listening to the audio on this and you can't see it. I know that really doesn't make for great radio, people. And I don't know why I'm looking over here. I'm looking over here at nothing. But I know it doesn't make for great radio, but at least if I can describe it to you and let you know what I'm doing, then I'll try to help you out a little bit. Yeah, so that's what we have there. And I'm telling you what, people, it looks like I'm getting out of here without a buzz, which I love. So I think we're going to wrap it. And I do thank everybody for sticking around, even though you didn't participate. That's okay. That's all right. I still love you. Look, if something doesn't work, then the best thing to do is keep right on doing it. Really, you know, uh, yeah, if it doesn't work, just keep doing it because sooner or later it's going to catch on. And you have no idea how many people have stuck with that, have lived by that philosophy that if it doesn't work, just keep right on doing it. People will catch on to what you're doing. People will begin to take it in and they'll gravitate towards it. So that's what I'm going to do here. All right. That's what we do. That's why we do dumb stuff like the Malort challenge, like Stump the Chump, even though I believe we've only had two calls in the history of our Friday Night Lives for Stump the Chump. Yeah, but that's okay. You keep doing it. You just keep on with it. So with that, let's just wrap it, okay? Let's get you out of here. How's that? All right? As always, this program is available on multiple podcast platforms like Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and Spotify. Or just simply search the Ben Maynard program and choose your option. Of course, you're going to go to Buzzsprout, okay? And if you just can't resist this pretty face and you have to watch, then you're watching on YouTube. And if you are watching here on YouTube, then please subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, give me a thumbs up, and leave a comment because you know I'm always going to read your comments. You know I'm always going to reply to your comments because I don't get very many, so it's really easy to do. And last but not least, follow me on Instagram. All one word, Ben Maynard Program. All right, with that, we are out, okay? This is the Ben Maynard Program. Tell a friend.